Yeah, so there's two really important things that happened in the 1890s that have to
Oh,
do with cannabis. And the first thing that happened was there was a report written by the British colonial government about hemp in India.
okay.
And basically, they had reports that cannabis was, or ganja as they called it, was
Yep.
making people crazy in India,
Yep.
sending a lot of people to the insane asylums.
Okay.
And
That's
what they discovered was no, they were just, everybody who ran insane asylums were just blaming cannabis for for putting people in there,
okay.
and when in fact uh, it wasn't causing people to become insane. And that was the finding in the report. Okay, so here we go. Well, this is the evidence that I found reading the Indian Hemp Drug Commission report of 1894-95.
All right.
The smoking gun, that reefer madness is 125 years old, and it's always been based on fraud. So, let me just read to you. In
All right.
1892, the first attempt at establishing a reefer madness theory in the public mind took place. In that year, F. Wire of Her Majesty's Bengal Civil Service wrote a letter to the Times of London insisting that ganja was responsible for, quote, 5 times as many cases of insanity as can be attributed to spirits and opium combined,
Oh,
and, quote, is the most frequent cause of chronic insanity. They didn't call it reefer madness, they called it ganja mania.
ganja mania. Yeah,
The
because
word
referring.
ganja, of course, is Hindi for sensibilia, or seedless buds. In other words, high quality marijuana.
Yeah, because in reefer, if they say reefer, like Indians might be at that time. What is reefer?
Yeah, no, reefer was the American way to say
Yeah.
ganja mania,
Yeah.
and to blame the Mexicans and not the Hindus.
Yeah, so there we go. So yeah. So why how did they came up with the word reefer? Because like ganja, we know ganja, like reefer. What's the origin of the word reefer?
Reefer, well, Mexican Spanish, grifo, smoker of cannabis.
Oh, okay. That's what they use the name as reefer madness too. Like it's relates directly with Mexicans.
Yeah, it's Mexican slang for marijuana drug addict.
Oh,
Grifo. The British government appointed the Indian Hemp Drugs Commission, empowered to investigate, amongst other things, a reported high incidence of ganja-related mania in Indian lunatic asylums.
wow,
What,
lunatic.
what they found, however, was that it was an ordinary practice to enter hemp drugs as the cause of insanity, where it has been shown that the patient used these drugs, and that in many cases the cause of insanity was automatically changed from unknown to ganja smoking.
Okay.
And I found the quotes in the Indian Hemp Drugs Commission report, 1893-94, volume 1. They just blamed it, all the insanity, on cannabis smoking, whether it was the real cause or not. How they had to justify budgets to people to run these asylums, or they didn't want to admit that they were ignorant as to the cause of insanity.
Do you think it's somehow related with opium wars and then like transportation for opium, so that suppress one drug and then just supply other drug to the world? Is
To
because
tell you
there's
the truth, it's more like scapegoating and white supremacy. They
okay.
ran the asylums. They got to decide who was insane. They pointed fingers at people and threw them into the asylums as a power trip, and looking down upon people of India.